I'm getting out the truck right now. I don't like this.
Edward quickly got in the way to block you from exiting the truck. Edward, hold up there, you're not going anywhere.
I'm getting out the truck. I can't do this anymore. It's really just different way to the trucks or get killing ourselves.
Edward's expression changed into a mix of shocked and concerned. Edward, whoa, hold on. What do you mean, killing ourselves?
Well, I guess it's now. Oh,
Edward grabbed your shoulders. Edward, you're not seriously thinking about ending your own life right now, are you?
yes. Because I didn't mean to break that gate right now. I didn't mean to break the gate. Oops.
Edward face palmed. Edward, I don't care about the damn gate being broken, but why were you talking about killing yourself earlier?
Let me grab the shotguns and point it at me.
Edward's eyes widened again and he immediately grabbed the shotgun. Edward, no you don't. You're not using the damn shotgun for that.
Give it to me, the shotgun. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Edward held the gun far out of your reach. Edward, absolutely not. You're not getting this damn shotgun.
Give me the shotguns right now. Give it to me. Give me to my shotguns, please.
Edward continued to keep the gun out of your reach. Edward, no, I'm not letting you have the damn thing. You're not gonna point it at yourself, you understand me?
Well, at least I have another FK-47 to point it at me, because
Edward's eye widened even more. He quickly grabbed your wrists. Edward, no, you're not pointing that damn gun at yourself either.
yep, I'm gonna do it. Trigger with my FK-47. Here we go. Oh,
Edward immediately slammed his hand against the gun. Edward, like hell you are. I'm not letting you do this.
you idiot, Edward! Why do you slam my hands?
Edward was now getting furious. Edward, don't you idiot me. I'm not letting you shoot yourself, so stop trying to kill yourself.
Fine, whatever. If you just ask me again, I'm not doing this.
Edward's expression softened again. Relief washed over his face. Edward, good. Just stop trying to hurt yourself, okay? I don't want you get hurt, you understand?
Yes, I understand. But please don't bother to me right now. I'm done with this.
Edward gently let go of your wrists and sighed. Edward, good. And I'm not bothering you, okay? I'm just making sure you don't do something stupid like try and kill yourself.
Fine, whatever. Fine, whatever. If you ask me.
Edward's expression remained soft and he gently tapped your shoulder. Edward, good. Just don't do anything stupid, alright? You scared the crap out of me earlier with the whole suicide thing.
Yeah, fine, whatever. Stupid idiot.
Edward rolled his eyes and leaned against the truck. Edward, don't call me an idiot for not wanting you to kill yourself, stupid.
I'm not getting inside the truck right now because I just wanted to go back to school. And I didn't want it to bother to me.
Edward folded his arms and looked at you. Edward, I'm not letting you walk back to school right now. There's people most likely looking for you from the whole breaking into school thing. So, like hell you're walking back there now.
Yeah. And I'm not expecting what you just call me idiot.
Edward's eyes rolled again. Edward, 'cause you're being a little bit of a dumbass RN. You did all this dumb stuff and you're trying to leave even though you're being looked for.
Leave me alone and I want the compensation right now because I'm done with this. I'm done with this so many times. I'm fed up with this.
Edward rubbed his forehead and sighed again. Edward, you do realize you can't just waltz back onto school grounds, right? You're being looked for, dumbass. Plus, it is getting pretty late. You can't really be walking around in the dark right now either.
Well, what do you ask me right now? I did not expect that when you asked me because I'm done with this.
Edward groaned and walked in front of you. Edward, Jesus Christ, will you just stop and listen to me for 1 minute?
Ah, I see the people right now. Let me grab something else. Grenades. Let me just throw the grenades at the people.
Edward's eyes widened as you went to throw the grenade. Edward, what the hell are you doing? He tackled you before you could throw it.
Huh. I threw some grenades at the people right now because they're going to die.
Edward pinned you to the ground to stop you. Edward, God damn it, why the hell did you throw grenades at them?
Because they don't deserve on the lift people like that. They don't deserve on the city right now, aren't you?
Edward was in disbelief and irritated. Edward, so what? Just because they don't deserve to live, you're gonna kill them? Are you serious right now?
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Did I throw the grenades at them? Okay, their goodness. Okay, I'm gonna just cover my ears.
Edward covered his ears as well and pulled you closer for more cover.
Alright. Did it explode? Oh, it did. Okay, so now the people is now dying already though. That's good. Let me just stand up. Ugh. Is it working already though? Yeah, I think it has an error problem.
Edward slowly stood up and looked at the direction of the explosion. Edward, Jesus Christ, you actually threw the damn grenade?
Yeah, and it just... Well, I guess I have a shotguns and a sniper rifle and FK-47 right behind into my back.
Edward's eyes widened again. Edward, you have all those things with you right now? How the hell do you manage to keep all those weapons on you at all times?
Well, I kind of stole from the other school from weapons from military, cause I kind of stole it already. Cause don't ask me why.
Edward pinched the bridge of his nose. Edward, of course you did. Why am I not surprised? You're a walking weapons arsenal, you know that, right?
Yep. And now let me just somebody kill people right now. Let's do this, people.
Edward immediately grabbed you again before you could do anything. Edward, absolutely not. Quit trying to kill people.
Edward, I need to shoot the people right now because they don't deserve anything else.
Edward was starting to get more and more frustrated. Edward, would you just stop trying to kill people for 2 seconds? God damn it, why do you want to kill people so badly?
Well, they don't deserve live inside the city right now. Cause, oh, I see city. Let me grab something else.
Edward watched nervously as you went to grab something else. Edward, what the hell are you doing now?
Ah, a rocket launcher. Let's try it again.
Edward's eyes widened in sheer horror as he saw the rocket launcher. Edward, absolutely not. You're not using that goddamn thing.
Let me just shoot at the city and the building and okay, I see aim and fire.
Edward tackled and pinned you to the ground again. Edward, like hell I'm letting you shoot a goddamn rocket at the city.
Oh, what are you doing, Edward? Why do you tackle me?
Edward kept you pinned down, making sure you couldn't try anything. Edward, I'm stopping you from shooting a rocket at the city, genius.
Let go of me. Let go of me right now and let me shoot at the city building right now, please.
Edward huffed and continued pinning you down. Edward, no, I'm not letting you blow up a damn building.
Let go of me right now.
Edward held you down more firmly and shook his head. Edward, no way in hell, not until you calm TF down.
Fine, I will calm down. Ugh.
Edward let out a sigh and eased up some. He didn't fully let you go though. Edward, you promised to not do anything stupid if I let go?
Yeah, fine. Whatever.
Edward sighed again and reluctantly let you go, Edward. Fine, but if I see you grabbing a damn weapon again, I will tackle you back to the ground.
Fine, whatever. I'm gonna just put the weapon inside my bag right now because I can't do this.
Edward exhaled and took a step back, watching you intently, Edward. Yeah, good, put the weapons all away. You're already a damn menace with all the stuff you're carrying.
Yeah, I'm just walking away right now. Let me just see. The people just like looking at me right now. Why are they looking at the weapons and look at me?
Edward followed behind you, Edward. Maybe because you're carrying a whole damn arsenal on you right now.
I don't know. They don't really care about those weapons and any. They don't care about those any weapons.
Edward gave you a deadpan look, Edward. They probably don't care because you aren't threatening them with the weapons, dumbass.
Well, wait. What the hell happened to the city?
Edward glanced around at the ruined city surrounding you now, Edward. I don't know. Maybe because you blew up the school with a grenade and destroyed some goddamn buildings with a rocket earlier?
Oh yeah, I should not have done that. I think I need to find a way to solution, but I can't fix it right now because I can't fix it because I don't have to end up paying for like $10,000.
Edward pinched the bridge of his nose again. Edward? Yeah, you've really caused a lot of destruction right now. You're not going to be able to fix it without a lot of money.
Well, what do you ask me for it, aren't you? Again, there's another error.
Edward's eye flicked to you, Edward. Maybe next time, think of the damn consequences before blowing things up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should not have done that.
Edward gave you a deadpan look again, Edward. No kidding, did you finally realize that?
Yeah, I should never done that. I should never done destruction cost a lot of things, you know that.
Edward couldn't help but roll his eyes again, Edward. Yeah, I know, so maybe don't destroy stuff and blow things up without thinking next time, okay? You already caused enough chaos.
I know. What the hell? Oh wait. I need to stop walking right now. There was an officer right now. There was an officer.
Edward immediately became nervous and placed a hand on your shoulder, Edward. Oh crap, that's the cops. What are we going to do?
I don't know. Maybe we just walk to them, or maybe we should tell them what.
Edward's eyes darted around the area, trying to see if there was somewhere to hide, Edward. Crap, crap, crap. How the hell are we going to avoid the police right now? Edward's eye widened. Edward, are you stupid? No way in hell are we walking to them, or confessing what you did.
Wait. Oh no, the cops looking at me right now. They're looking at us.
Edward swore under his breath while he looked at the cops. Edward, damn it! Just don't talk, okay? Let me handle this.
Yeah, sure.
Edward kept his hand on your shoulder and walked up to the cops with a fake smile plastered on his face.
I need to find a way to. I think I know. I'm gonna go directly that way because they're just in case they don't see them people, any cops around, because the cops doesn't look at me.
Edward held you in place, Edward. If you try to run, they're gonna chase you, dumbass.
Well, what do you ask me for it? Let me just run away. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm running.
Edward groaned and quickly went after you, chasing you, Edward. You idiot! Get back here!
Alright, let me cross the right there and I see the building. Let me destroy destruction. Now the building.
Edward finally caught up to you and pinned you against the building. Edward, seriously, you're gonna blow up another goddamn building?
Yeah. Never going. Never chase me and never going to get me. Ha ha.
Edward grabbed your wrists and pinned them against the wall. Edward, I'm getting real tired of you trying to blow stuff the hell up again, you idiot.
You missed. You idiot, Edward. You shouldn't get me though. Alright.
Edward grunted and rolled his eyes. Edward, you're impossible, you know that?
Well, you can't get me right now cause your aim's actually so bad right now.
Edward tightened his grip on your wrists. Edward, oh yeah? Well, I'm pinning you against the wall right now, so I'd say my aim is pretty damn good.
You're not able to aim it at me, aren't you? Cause I'm keep running away from you. Cause you're not staying away from me. I'm staying away from you cause I'm keeping running away.
Edward let out a frustrated sigh while still pinning you to the wall. Edward, why do you have to be so damn stubborn? Can you just not run from me for 2 seconds?
Well, your aim's so bad and you're kind of really so bad at it. Cause your runs are really super slow right now. Cause you can't even get me though. Cause I'm running so fast.
Edward scowled at you. Edward, you are so damn irritating. My legs are stronger than yours. I could catch you whenever I wanted. I'm just taking it easy on you right now.
Huh. Okay, I'm not falling for that, Edward, because you're not able to get me.
Edward rolled his eyes and let out another sigh. Edward, oh, for the love of... I swear to God, I'm gonna pin you against this wall for the rest of the day so you can't run from me.
Huh. Whew. Oh, okay. Oh my God. I think I lost to them. I think I lost Edward. Cause, okay, they didn't chase me behind me. So that's good. Phew, that was close.
Edward quickly grabbed your shoulder. Edward, you seriously think I wouldn't follow you again?
How, Edward? How do you know? How do you came from out of nowhere?
Edward rolled his eyes again, looking more frustrated at this point. Edward, I've been following you this entire time, idiot.
Where did you came from out of nowhere? Did you seriously follow me right now? Because you were right behind me, aren't you?
Edward sighed and pinched the bridge of his nose. Edward, you're an idiot. Of course I followed you. I never lost sight of you.
Ah, I need just to run away for again.
Edward firmly grabbed your wrists again. Edward, absolutely not. I'm not gonna sit through another chase.
Ha! I'm going to run too fast. Let me drink some energy drink. There we go.
Edward watched you grab an energy drink and sighed once again. Edward, you're seriously gonna drink that crap?
Yeah, and I'm just running it super fast because you're never going to get me right now because you're just running like really a little bit fast right now because I'm super fast right now. Ha ha!
Edward pinched the bridge of his nose and exhaled. Edward, are you seriously gonna make me repeat myself? My legs are strong. I can run faster than your stupid ass.
Ah, let me hide inside of the building right now. Let me hide inside the buildings and let's just lock it inside the exit building. Let me just lock it.
Edward immediately went and followed you into the building. Edward, how do you think this is going to stop me from catching you?
Edward, I put it in something inside from the exit door from the building because you're never going inside again. I'm getting inside the elevator right now. Let's go to the 15th floor right now because I'm going to higher one.
While you were heading upstairs, Edward quickly caught up behind you. Edward, Seriously, you think you're going to lose me in a building you've probably never even been in?
Well, Edward, you forgot to mention that the exit is already locked right now because you never get inside.
Edward looked at the locked exit and scowled. Edward, oh, for the love of, you seriously know this building well enough to know all of the exits are locked?
Yeah, and you're never getting inside the building, aren't you? You're not able to break it, aren't you?
Edward grunted and glanced around at the building. Edward, I'll find some way to get out. I'm far more resourceful than you.
Yeah. Alright.
Edward started looking around for another exit but couldn't find anything. Edward, damn it, you got me trapped, didn't you?
Yeah. You're never able to chase me right now. Psych. Goodbye for now, Edward.
Edward let out an exasperated sigh. Edward, so you're just going to leave me in here trapped in this damn building?
Yeah. And I'm running away for you now. See you later.
Edward called after you, his voice clearly frustrated yet still tinged with some hint of annoyance. Edward, you damn brat! You can't just leave me trapped in here.
Alright, now Edward's now trapped inside the buildings. Now let's just find a way to get this. Let's just find a way to get hiding spot. Where should I hide?
Edward continued to look around the building, trying to find another way out. He scowled and kept trying the locked exits and windows to see if he could escape.
Alright, the house. No, I meant, the front of the, I think we can hide in the truck. Let me hide in the truck.
Edward grumbled and went to the truck. Edward, of course we're gonna have to hide in a damn car.
Alright. Meanwhile, Edward's still inside in the building right now. I can't find the
Edward
exit.
climbed into the back of the truck and looked around. Edward, when the hell are we going to make it out of here? Edward huffs in annoyance while still looking around the building for a way out. The exits were all firmly locked and so were all the windows, leaving him trapped inside for the time being.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find a way, but he found it. The other exit door wasn't locked.
Edward's eyes widened when he spotted one of the exits left open. Edward, finally, a way out. Edward quickly went to the open door and was about to head outside, but then paused, debating on whether or not he should go after you again.
I think I lost Edward right now, because there's to make sure that it doesn't chase me right now. Is he right behind us? Okay, that's good. So let me just run away.
Edward was debating with himself for a moment before finally giving in, deciding to pursue you again. Edward, God damn it, I can't believe I'm doing this. Edward stormed out of the building, immediately looking around for any sight of you.
Alright, I'm ready. Let me just destroy some of the building, but not right now, because I need to walk faster right now, because it doesn't make sure Edward doesn't see me right now.
Edward looked up at the commotion, spotting you running off further away. He grumbled under his breath and began hurrying after you. Edward, you're really pissing me off right now.
Oh no, there's Edward. How did you manage to getting out, Edward?
Edward continued to follow you, managing to keep up with your pace. He wasn't much of a runner as you were, but he was still surprisingly fast on his feet. Edward, why do I even bother chasing you? You're so goddamn frustrating.
Edward, how did you manage to getting out? How did you manage to getting out? Oh, I figured the exit door was unlocked. Oh, I forgot. The exit back door wasn't locked.
Edward rolled his eyes at your question. Edward, one of the exits was left unlocked. Idiot. Figured it would be easy to get out that way.
Oh, damn it, I forgot. The back of the exit door was not locked. Oh, I should have never doing this. Anyways, I'm gonna keep running away. happening?
Edward scowled as you kept running away. Edward, you seriously have a death wish, don't you? You're just asking for me to catch you.
Smoke grenades. Let's throw smoke grenades at Edward so they cannot see them where I'm at.
Edward stumbled back momentarily when the smoke filled the area. Once he caught his bearings again, he cursed under his breath, struggling to keep track of you in the smoke. Edward, son of a...
Alright, now Edward cannot see that. They were never gonna see me again. Now, this time I'm running away.
Edward was growing increasingly frustrated at the fact that he couldn't see you in the smoke. Edward. Jesus Christ, how are you always so hard to catch?
Well, I use a smoke grenade. I have flash grenade. I have some grenades, you know that. Because you're never able to catch me.
Edward let out a huff of annoyance. Edward, you really are testing my patience right now. I'm going to strangle you when I finally get my hands on you.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him right now, but the smoke grenade kept any more worse.
Edward's visibility was severely limited by the smoke, making it nearly impossible for him to find you. Edward, damn smoke! Where did you go this time?
Alright, I know what to do. I'm gonna find a way to hide a spot and make sure that Edward doesn't know. Let me find the... I know. I need to find a hide. From the top of the roof right now. Because to make sure it doesn't chase me right now.
Edward continued to search around for you, occasionally coughing at the smoke around him. Edward, where the hell did you go? You better not have climbed somewhere stupid like a damn building or something.
Alright, I'm at the building right now, so I'm gonna have to wait until Edward gets really left soon.
Edward eventually noticed the building that you were on top of. He grumbled and started making his way towards it, occasionally coughing at the lingering smoke in his lungs.
Okay, let me hide from the building right now. Let me hide from the building. Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him, but they smoke grenades kept any more worse.
Edward saw a figure disappear behind the side of the building and scowled, knowing that you were hiding on top of it. Edward, I know you're up there, you idiot.
Meanwhile, Edward's finally getting out the smoke grenades because he still haven't had a lot of things in her hands and a lot of bodies get really bad.
Edward was able to finally get out of the smoke and saw your outline on the roof of the building. Edward, I can see you up there. This is over. You're not getting away from me this time.
Oh no, Edward's getting out the smoke grenade. What am I gonna do?
Edward scowled and took a look around before starting to try and find a way up to the roof. Edward, nowhere left to run now. I'm getting up there and I'm going to drag your ass down here myself.
Oh no, that's not good. Let me jump off the building. Now let's just run out of the way.
When you started to jump off, Edward spotted you. Edward, no, wait. Edward rushed forward and, without thinking, grabbed your wrists in an attempt to stop you from jumping.
Alright, now I'm running away for now. I need to stay away from Edward. I know, flash grenades! Flash grenades!
Edward stumbled back, shielding his eyes from the flash grenade. Edward, damn, how many of those things do you have? That's the third one you've thrown at me.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to do right now, because let me just put it combined together. Flash grenade, smoke grenades.
Edward coughed and rubbed his eyes, his vision still slightly disoriented. Edward, why the hell are you combining grenades?
Because I'm a good professional throwing the grenades at it. I have some regular grenades, flash grenades, and smoke grenades. That's what happens.
Edward stumbled and grunted in frustration. Edward, of course you have actual grenades as well. Just what the hell am I going to do with you?
Well, Edward, you cannot see yet because You act because you just blind on it, and also smoke grenade cannot see you though because you cannot barely see it, aren't you?
Edward scowled, his vision still partially blinded and blurry. Edward? Yeah, I can't really see a damn thing right now.
Alright, now this time I'm run away for now. I need to find a way. Ah, a truck! Let me get inside the truck.
Edward heard you running off again, and grumbled under his breath. Edward. Damn it, you're not getting away from me again. Edward began once again trying to follow after you.
Well, Edward, you still cannot barely see it because the smoke grenades and flash grenades, the flashbang grenades, it was really, really blinding to you because you cannot see it, aren't you?
Edward groaned and tried to blink away the disoriented feeling from the flash grenade. Edward. I can't see a damn thing. Stop asking if I can see.
Alright, this time, now I need to find a way to get him out of here. Meanwhile, Edward's blinding from flash grenade, but then it wasn't working fine right now because he's trying to struggle on it.
Edward stumbled forward, still struggling to see properly, and let out a frustrated grunt. Edward. This is getting obnoxious. I'm going to strangle you when I get my hands on you.
Alright, now let me find a way to there's any way to chance to need to find a way to hide. Let me hide from the sewer. Oh gosh.
Edward was still disoriented from the flash grenade, trying to shake his head and get his bearings straight. Edward. Damn it, where did you go? I can't see anything.
Meanwhile, Edward's finally he see this, and when this happened, he couldn't find it because they don't know where he's at. Not an error again. This is my video not working. I think there's some error problem. Oh.
Oh damn place.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him, but it couldn't find him because he needs to find a way to soon after all.
Edward stormed around, growing more and more frustrated as he realized that he couldn't find you yet. Edward? You can't keep playing hide and seek forever, you know? I'm going to catch you eventually.
Meanwhile, Edward decided to give up, and couldn't find him right now, so he has to find him tomorrow after this. Meanwhile, Edward's walking back and towards the way to the building.
Edward begrudgingly walked back to the building after giving up his search. He let out an annoyed huff of breath while trying to rub the remaining disoriented feeling out of his eyes.
Meanwhile, I'm inside the sewer.
Edward entered the building again and went to a secluded corner outside. Once he reached the area, he leaned against the wall with an annoyed expression before muttering to himself. Edward, how the hell does he keep managing to escape me?
Alright, is Edward's gone? Oh, they gave up. Alright, let me just walk. Okay, let me just climb it up right now. Alright, this time Edward's not following me right now. Oh, it's late at night. I don't have much time. I have to walk.
Edward stayed outside for a short while still contemplating on whether or not he should keep looking for you. When he decided against it, he let out a huff of breath and went back inside. Once inside, he began to grumble to himself again. Edward, stupid kid. I swear when I get my hands on him, there'll be hell to pay.
Alright, now Edward's not following me right now. Now I had to walk away from him because he's inside the building right now. Meanwhile, Edward's really he's not happy because he will find him soon after all.
Edward was still inside the building, annoyed that he lost you. He leaned against the wall, silently thinking to himself, trying to figure out where you could have run off to.
Oh shoot! I accidentally triggered something. I actually make the noise, the gunshot sound. Meanwhile, Edward heard the gunshot sound.
Edward's head snapped up when he heard the gunshot sound. He grunted and quickly got to his feet, following the sound with a determined look.
Meanwhile, Edward finally found him right now.
Edward finally tracked down the sound and saw a figure up ahead. Edward, there you are, finally.
Oh no, it's Edward! Ah, God, I'm running away.
Edward spotted you and started approaching. Edward, you're not getting away from me this time. I'm going to end this once and for all.
Alright, I'm just running away for now because Edward does know where I am. I'm just running away. Here we go. I need to find a way to get to stay. You need to get away from my Edwards because I don't have much time.
Edward started running after you, determined to catch up. Edward, you're not getting away from me that easily, you idiot.
Oh no, this is really bad. This is really bad. Oh no, the flash grenade and the smoke grenade cannot get to the Edwards. It doesn't work. I need to find it away.
Edward continued chasing after you, growing more frustrated by the moment. Edward, will you stay still for 5 seconds and let me catch you, you annoying idiot?
No, I'm just running away for you. Because you never call me idiots though. You're idiots, Edward.
Edward's face darkened as you called him an idiot, and he let out a low growl as he continued chasing you. Edward, you little brat.
Yeah, that's what you get. Because you're never going to chase me right now. Because you're running like a bit fast. Because I'm super fast right now.
Edward gritted his teeth in frustration. He was running faster now as he tried to close the distance between you two. Edward, damn it, you can't keep running forever. I'm going to catch up to you eventually.
You never even catch me. Ah, I slipped and it fell.
Edward's face broke out into a smirk when he saw you trip. He was closing the distance between you two now. Edward. Ha! About time you slipped up, idiot.
I need to get it out of the way. I need to get it out of the way. Ah, Edward, what are you doing?
Edward continued moving toward you, still smirking. Edward, what does it look like? I'm going to catch you, you idiot.
I'm just gonna walk away from it.
Edward quickly closed the distance between you two and grabbed your shoulder roughly. Edward, you're not going anywhere. I've got you now.
Let go of me right now. You know what? Guess what? I have a teleport button right now.
Edward's eyes widened in surprise when you mentioned a teleport button. Edward, huh? Teleport button? You can't be serious?
Yeah. Guess what now, Edward? Psych! I'm pressing the teleport button. See ya!
Edward's face fell as you teleported away. Edward, what? Damn it, you tricked me?
Oh! Oh my! I'm inside. Oh my! I'm inside next to the building. Let's go! Wait, am I back at the same building right now? Oh my gosh!
Edward had to take a moment to recollect himself after you teleport away, grumbling to himself in annoyance. Edward, damn it, that brat tricked me. Where did he go now?
Meanwhile, Edwards have an idea to. He has a teleport button to teleport him right now. Need to find a location.
Edward thought about the teleport button and got an idea. Edward, if he can use a teleport button, then I can do the same thing.
Meanwhile, Edward's teleported into the same building right now, and now.
Edward appeared in the same building as you. Edward, ha! Teleport is such simple technology. It didn't take long to find you again, idiot.
Well. Meanwhile, I am walking right next to that because I'm just walking right now. Since Edwards sucks inside. Since Edwards can't find me right now. I'm just walking away.
Edward looked around the building, trying to spot you again. Edward, I know you're in here somewhere. I swear when I find you this time I'll get you for real.
Meanwhile, meanwhile Edward's trying to find him, but he couldn't find him because because we couldn't find him because they tried to find anything else.
Edward continued searching the building, grumbling in annoyance at not being able to find you, Edward. Where the hell did he go this time? He can't keep disappearing like this.
Meanwhile, Edward's accidentally something right now from the people right now, and actually that was the police.
Edward was interrupted by the sound of police approaching the building. Edward, what the police? Why are they here?
Meanwhile, I'm still running away from them because, phew, I finally managed to escape from the building in the city right now. Thank God I lost Edward already.
Edward was stopped in his tracks by the arrival of the police and cursed under his breath as he watched you slip away again, Edward. Damn it, that brat got away again. I'll get him next time for sure.
I think I lost Edward right now. Thank gosh, I managed to find a way to escape from the building right now. Oh, there's a Utah building right now. I need to get inside.
Edward grumbled as he watched you escape once again. He was growing more and more frustrated at your ability to keep evading him. Edward, damn it, that kid is like a slippery little snake, constantly escaping my grasp.
Meanwhile, Edwards used the teleportation to find him and find the Utah.
Edward used the teleport button again, hoping to finally catch up with you. He teleported inside the building, looking around for any sign of you.
Meanwhile, Edwards finally teleported into Utah building right now, and meanwhile I was running away from Edwards right now.
Edward appeared in the Utah building and spotted you running again, Edward. There you are, you little shit. I'm not losing you again.
Oh, you got to be kidding me, Edwards. You got to be kidding me. Oh my god, I need to run away from them. Because I don't want anything to happen to the cause anything happen.
Edward gritted his teeth as he started running after you, Edward. You're not getting away this time. I'm done letting you slip through my fingers.
Yeah, Edward, never catch me, never get me. You're a loser.
Edward's face darkened with anger as you taunted him. Edward, you brat! You won't be mocking me once I get my hands around your neck.
Alright. Ah, let me just use energy drinks again.
Edward's eyes widened as you drank an energy drink. Edward, crap! He's drinking another one of those things.
Alright, now I'm just running super fast right now.
Edward's face darkened with frustration as he watched you speed up. Edward, damn it, he's even faster than before. I can barely keep up at this pace.
I'm running like 6 times speed.
Edward struggled to keep up with your increased speed, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Edward, how the hell are you running so fast? I can't keep up like this.
Meanwhile, Edwards have an idea. He has some energy drinks and all, he can drink it.
Edward saw the energy drinks and a determined look flashed across his face. Edward, so this kid wants to play fast, huh? I'll show him that I can keep up. Edward grabbed an energy drink and downed it, feeling a jolt of energy as the caffeine hit his system.
Meanwhile, Edward's running super fast and tried to chase him.
Edward's eyes widened as he felt the effects of the energy drink kick in. He started running faster, feeling a surge of energy coursing through his body. Edward, ha! I can keep up now, you little brat. Just try to escape now.
Meanwhile, I was running super fast right now and I had to stay away from him. Meanwhile, he gave up the running right now because he lost Edward right now.
Edward continued chasing after you, fueled by the energy drink and determined to catch up. Edward, you can't run forever! I'm gaining on you.
I think I lost Edward right now. Now this time I'm gonna hide somewhere else. Ah, in the locker's room.
Edward finally stopped running, panting heavily as he tried to catch his breath. Edward, damn it, I lost him again. He grumbled to himself, looking around the area for any sign of where you went.
Meanwhile, Edward's find him right now, but meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him, but he couldn't find him anywhere. So Edward's decided to walk away to see if we had to find him tomorrow, but it's late at night.
Edward searched the area, checking every possible hiding spot, but unable to find you. Edward, damn it, where did he go this time? I swear if I don't find him soon, I'm gonna lose it. He sighed and checked his watch, realizing it was getting late. Edward, ugh, it's getting late. I guess I'll have to call it a night and find him again tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Edward's walking away and couldn't find him, but he will find him tomorrow after this.
Edward walked away, frustration etched on his face. He couldn't believe he had lost you again and was determined to find you tomorrow. Edward, this is getting ridiculous. I need to get some rest and try again tomorrow. That brat can't keep evading me forever.
Meanwhile, I'm still inside the locker right now when Edward's walking away.
Edward continued walking, still grumbling to himself about losing you. Edward, I swear, that kid is a slippery little weasel. He eventually disappeared from sight, leaving the area eerily quiet.
Meanwhile, Edward's to take a rest and to sleep right now. And meanwhile, I was still inside the locker right now and searching if there's Edward on it. Whew, thank God. I think Edward decided to give up.
Edward finally reached his home and flopped down onto his bed, exhausted from the day's events. Edward, what a day! I can't believe that kid still managed to escape from me. He closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, hoping he'd have more luck tracking you down the next day.
Meanwhile, he was so tired and he has to take a sleep. But meanwhile, he has some coffee to make him stay awake for him to wake up.
Edward laid in bed, his mind racing as he thought about the day's events. He knew he needed to get some sleep, but found himself feeling restless. That's when he remembered the coffee he had left in the kitchen. Edward, maybe some caffeine will help me stay awake a bit longer. He got up and headed to the kitchen to make a quick cup of coffee.
Meanwhile, Edward's drinking a cup of coffee right now and he needs to stay awake right now to find him.
Edward poured himself a cup of coffee and took a sip, feeling the caffeine kick in. Edward, okay, that should keep me awake for a bit longer. Time to come up with a plan to find that kid tomorrow.
Meanwhile, I was still walking at the nights because it was late. Man, it's getting late. I have not time for this.
Edward sipped his coffee and started making plans for the next day. He knew he needed to figure out a way to sneak up on you and catch you off guard. Edward, gotta think of something. I can't keep letting him slip through my fingers like this.
Meanwhile, when I was sleeping and right next to the building right now, when Edward decided to not going outside because it was late at night.
Edward waited until it was late enough to ensure you were likely asleep to start his plan. Edward, okay, it's late enough. I should be able to go on campus now without being seen. He quietly made his way to the school grounds, keeping a watchful eye out for security or any other disturbances.
Meanwhile, next day, the next day, from the morning.
The next day dawned, and Edward woke up with a renewed sense of determination. He had a plan to catch you off guard this time, and he was ready to put it into action, Edward. Alright, today's the day. I'm gonna catch that kid and put an end to this games once and for all.
Meanwhile, when I was sleeping it out and finally woke up, said, "Huh? It's already morning? Oh wow, it's like 8 minutes. I guess I'll stand up for it." Ugh. I don't have. I have eating for a while, for a long time ago.
As you woke up and stretched, you realized how hungry you were. You hadn't eaten in a while, and your stomach was growling in protest.
But good thing is, I have some chocolate right now. So good.
You rummaged through your belongings and found that you had a small stash of chocolate remaining. While it wasn't a full meal, it was better than nothing.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him, but he would need to look at it.
Edward was making the rounds on campus, checking all the usual suspect spots where you were likely to be hiding. Edward, come on, where the hell is he? He has to be somewhere here.
Meanwhile, when I was eating chocolate, that's a lot of chocolate, man. I think I'm full already, though.
You continued eating the chocolate, savoring the sweet taste. However, you also noticed that you were starting to feel lightheaded and a bit strange.
Meanwhile, 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 when I was done eating chocolate now and had to throw it away.
You finished off the last of the chocolate and disposed of the wrapper. However, the feeling of lightheadedness had intensified, and you felt a bit unsteady on your feet.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him, but we need to find him already because it was really a bad idea. Otherwise, they will leave soon.
Edward continued searching the campus, growing more and more frustrated as he failed to locate you. He was determined to find you and end this game, but he had no idea just how badly things were about to take a turn. Edward continued his search for you, getting more and more frustrated with each passing minute. Edward, dang it, where the hell is he? He can't have disappeared into thin air.
Meanwhile, Edward see the wrapper inside the chocolate right now. You can see.
Edward spotted the discarded chocolate wrapper lying on the ground. He picked it up and examined it, a look of realization dawning on his face.
Meanwhile, Edward see what smells it looks like.
Edward brought the wrapper up to his nose and took a sniff, trying to see if he could identify the scent.
Meanwhile, Edward smells like that was him.
Edward smelled the wrapper and immediately recognized the scent. Edward, ham? Why does that chocolate wrapper smell like ham?
Meanwhile, Edward's finally see what is the chocolate look like. That's the name at it.
Edward examined the wrapper further and suddenly realized what the chocolate was. Edward, wait a minute. This is not just any chocolate. It's Editor Choco.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to find him right now, and quickly realized that was him. He was eating the chocolate.
Edward put two and two together and his eyes widened, realizing the truth. Edward, oh no, he ate the Editor Choco.
Meanwhile, when I was still eating chocolate right now, because I'm full already though, and I heard something noise came from the other way right behind me.
As you continued eating the Editor Choco, a noise caught your attention, coming from behind you.
Meanwhile, Edward's finally found him.
Edward had finally found you. He approached you slowly, an angry look on his face.
Well, uh-oh. Wait, what's that behind me though?
Edward smirked, having snuck up on you, Edward. Looks like I finally caught you, you little sneaky brat. Trying to hide from me again, huh?
Oh shit. Oh shit, that's not good. I'm running away right now.
Edward chuckled as you tried to bolt away, Edward. Nice try, kid, but you're not getting away from me that easily. He started chasing after you and quickly caught up with you.
Let me throw some of the box at Edward. Another box.
You grabbed a nearby box and threw it backwards at Edward, hoping it would slow him down.
Thank God. I threw the box at Edward right now because it was really hard to grab it.
Edward stumbled back as the box hit him, but he quickly regained his footing and continued chasing you, Edward. You little brat, that box didn't slow me down for long.
I need to find a way to get to him slowing down. Ah, a landmine.
You spotted a landmine in the distance and an idea formed in your mind.
Meanwhile, Edward stepped on the landmine, realized that it got barely hurt.
Edward stepped on the landmine with a loud explosion. Edward, what the A-gauge? He stumbled backwards, wincing in pain from the explosion. Thankfully, he was wearing protective gear and was only lightly bruised.
Oh my gosh. Alright, I think need to find a way to get this, find a way to stop the Edwards, because I don't want let this chase me soon. I don't want to get dying soon.
You needed to think quickly to think of a way to stop Edward's relentless pursuit.
Meanwhile, Edward's trying to chase him right now, but he was running a bit fast right now.
Edward was running fast right now, easily keeping up with your pace.
Oh no, Edward's going to running too fast right now. I need to stop to him.
Edward was closing in on you, his footsteps getting louder as he gained on you.
Let me find something. Ah, flashbang. Flashbang.
You found a flashbang nearby and quickly grabbed it, preparing to use it against Edward.
Meanwhile, flashbang is really stronger blind, you know that?
The flashbang was a strong tool, capable of blinding and disorienting anyone who was directly caught in its flash.
Meanwhile, Edwards got blinded from the flashbang because he couldn't see it.
Edward was right in front of you when you unleashed the flashbang. He cried out in pain as the blinding light filled his vision, temporarily incapacitating him.
Edward's now being blind, so Edwards is the idiot. Edward's idiot and stupid because he's never going to find me.
Edward was struggling to regain his vision as he stumbled around blindly, cursing under his breath.
Thank God. I think I lost Edward right now. Oh, I need to. Anyways, and let me hide spot for the other buildings. Ah, there's a building right there. Let me hide it.
You spotted a nearby building and quickly made your way over to it, finding an area to hide and catch your breath.
Meanwhile, Edwards finally opened his eyes and now they cannot see it. But then he realized that he eventually completely lost to him.
Edward had finally regained his vision, but he realized much too late that you were nowhere in sight.
Meanwhile, when I was hiding inside the building right now and see there's Edwards in hiding from us.
Edward was searching the area, trying to find any trace of you. However, you were hidden inside the building, carefully watching as he looked for you.
Meanwhile, Edwards need to find out where is he at. And meanwhile, I had to get out from the building right now and see he doesn't look at me.
You carefully exited the building, making sure not to draw any attention to yourself. You could see Edward nearby, still searching the area.
Meanwhile, Edward see him right now, and he got caught right now. Meanwhile, Edwards finally found him, but then he just got recently happened.
Edward finally spotted you, and a look of triumph crossed his face. Edward, there you are, you little sneak. I finally have you now.
Oh shoot, that's not good. Edward, how did you manage to do that? I thought you stepped on the landmine, and I thought the flashbang was blinding to you. I don't get it.
Edward chuckled, looking a bit proud of himself. Edward, oh, come on. Did you really think it would be that easy to get rid of me? I've been through worse than a little flashbang and a landmine. That's nothing for me.
Damn it, damn it. Oh no, I'm gonna run away from them. Edwards, you're such a loser. Cause I bet that you can, I bet that I bet you running fast right now. Cause you're gonna get your leg's gonna get hurt yourself, aren't you?
Edward raised an eyebrow at your taunt. Edward, you think you can run faster than me, huh? Don't be so cocky, kid. I've been chasing students like you for a long time, and I've never been beaten yet.
Well, alright, Edwards, you're never going to get me now. See you later, Edward, you loser son of a dick.
Edward's eyes narrowed at your insult. Edward, oh, you'll regret mocking me like that, kid. I'm done playing games. I'm gonna catch you, and you'll be sorry you ever crossed me.
You're never gonna get me right now. Alright, I'm just running away from Edwards because they're already so slow.
As you start running away from Edward, he growls in frustration and starts chasing after you. Edward, get back here. You're not getting away from me this time.
Well, Edward, I'm slipping again. Damn it. What kind of ice slip is that? What did I slip? Oh, I slipped on the surface, the floor. I slipped on the surface in a walking one. I slipped on it. I just slipped.
Edward spots you slipping on the floor and laughs. Edward, ha, look at you, tripping over your own 2 feet. You're just making this easy for me.
Oh, that really hurts. Let me just getting up right now. Oh no, Edward's getting closer right now.
Edward, still amused by your slip, continues closing in on you. Edward, looks like you're out of moves, kid. I'm gonna have you cornered in no time.
Edward, Edward, what are you gonna do about me? I give up to running right now. What are you gonna do about me?
Edward smirks, seeing that you've given up. Edward, well, looks like you finally realized that you're beaten. About time. He approaches you, a smug look on his face.
Edward, what are you gonna do about me? Trying to tackle to me?
Edward grins, enjoying your fear. Edward, oh, I have a few ideas in mind, but I think tackling you to the ground should do the trick. You're not going anywhere.
Oh, Edward, what do you do? Oh, Edward, let go of me right now. I want to get it out. Let go of me.
Edward grabs you firmly, pinning you to the ground. Edward, ha! You really thought yelling would help you? Not a chance. You're mine now.
Edward, let go of me right now. Edward, let go of me.
Edward laughs at your struggles. His grip is strong. Edward, you really think I'm gonna listen to you? Not happening. I've got you right where I want you.
So what are you gonna do about me when you tackle me? What are you gonna do about me when you tackle to me?
Edward grins, his expression darkening. Edward, oh, I have a few things in mind, but I think I'll start by teaching you a lesson you won't soon forget. You should have never messed with me, kid.
What are you gonna do about me? What do you want to teach me a lesson for what?
Edward's grip tightens, his annoyance growing. Edward, you've been a nuisance, a little troublemaker. You think you can do whatever you want without facing consequences? Well, I'm about to teach you a serious lesson in respect.
So, what are you gonna do about teach me a lesson for what? What are you gonna do about me? Huh?
Edward's expression turns sinister. Edward, oh, I have plenty of ways to teach you a lesson. but I think a good old-fashioned beatdown should get the message across. Then you'll think twice before mocking me again.
Edward, what are you gonna do about me? Trying to do something like that to me? Or are you trying to kill me by myself? Not again.
Edward scoffs, shaking his head. Edward, now, let's not get dramatic. I'm not gonna kill you, alright? I just want to teach you some manners, show you who's in charge here. I'll give you a good beating, but you'll survive, mostly unscathed.
Please, Edward, please, don't do anything about this. Please, Edward, don't do it. Don't do it, Edward.
Edward sneers at your pleading. Edward, oh come on, cut out the whining. You dug your own grave when you decided to mess with me. Actions have consequences, kid. And the consequences for you? A good old-fashioned beatdown.
Don't do it, Edward.
Edward smirks, clearly enjoying your fear. Edward, you know, the more you beg, the more you'll just make me want to do it. It's kinda satisfying watching you plead and squirm.
Ouch, Edward. Ow, it hurts. Ah.
Edward laughs as he continues applying pressure. Edward, oh, does it hurt? Well, it's supposed to. You brought this on yourself, kid. Now you're gonna feel the pain that comes with crossing me.
Edward, ow, that's enough. It's getting hurt. That's enough. You literally make me hurt right now. That's enough. Ow.
Edward's grin widens, his grip remaining firm. Edward, you think you've had enough? Trust me, we're just getting started. Buckle up, kid. This is gonna hurt.
No, ow. Edward, that's enough. Ouch.
Edward ignores your plea and continues holding you down. Edward, not yet. We're far from done here. I said you'd get a beating, and I meant it.
Meanwhile, Zip and Oliver finally did get here.
Edward glances up as he hears footsteps approaching, seeing Zip and Oliver nearby. He grins, realizing he has some backup. Edward, oi, look who's here. Just in time for the show.
Meanwhile, Zip and Oliver is trying to say, what are you doing to him?
Edward scoffs at Zip and Oliver's presence. Edward, what does it look like? I'm teaching this little troublemaker a lesson he won't forget. He's been disrespecting me for too long, and it's time he learns his place.
Zip and Oliver is not too happy when you did to him. He's not a troublemaker. Zip and Oliver say, he's not a troublemaker. What the hell are you doing, Edward? You're being stupid? You think I'm looking at him stupid? No, you're not. Edward, you need to comfort us right now.
Edward rolls his eyes at Zip and Oliver's protests. Edward, oh, spare me. You two sound like a broken record. He's not a troublemaker. He's not a troublemaker. Pff, do you think I care? I'm doing what needs to be done.
Meanwhile, Miss Grace does know what you did to that, and Miss Grace decided to give him Edward's attention for 5 months.
Edward glances up as he hears Miss Grace's voice. Edward, oh great, now what does she want?
Miss Grace said, what the hell are you doing, Edward? That's it, Edward. You're not doing this and beating up the kids like that. You're going to send detention for 1 year. 1 year.
Edward scowls as he recognizes Miss Grace, realizing he's in trouble. Edward, what? You can't be serious! I was just teaching this brat a lesson. He had it coming.
Well, you should never done to the beating kids like that. That's a serious crime, and you should never doing that.
Edward looks frustrated and defensive. Edward, oh come on. I wasn't doing anything serious, just a little roughhousing. It's not like I was gonna hurt him that much. He would have been fine.
Meanwhile, Zip and Oliver say, he's not fine. You shouldn't have done that, Edward. That's it, Edward. We're going to find a call someone.
Edward rolls his eyes, annoyed by Oliver's words. Edward, oh, quit whining. He's fine. He's just being a baby. And what do you mean, finding someone?
Edward, don't you do it right now. Don't hurt me by myself.
Edward glares at you, growing impatient. Edward, oh come on, quit your complaining. You're just making yourself an easy target. I'm not gonna back down just because you keep whining.
Meanwhile, Alice coming in. Meanwhile, Alice and Torch right next to Oliver. Oh, sorry, Edward.
Edward raises an eyebrow as he notices Alice approaching Edward. Oh great, another interruption. What do you want now?
Alice said, "How dare you beat me, my son?"
Edward scowls at Alice's confrontation. Edward, I was just teaching your son a lesson. He was mouthing off to me and being a nuisance. He needed to be taught some respect.
Alice was not too happy, and she's turning the demon right now, and she's grabbed Edward and trying to prevent him.
Edward's eyes widen in surprise as Alice suddenly grabs him. Edward, hey, what the hell are you doing? Let go of me.
Alice said, "What? How could you beat my son like that? He's not okay. Well, Edward, you shouldn't have done that. Edward, you know what this means? You're not going to be able to see you soon after all. And I'm calling your mom and dad and what you did to my son."
Edward's expression turns worried as Alice threatens him. Edward, okay, I get it. You don't have to call my parents, alright? I won't touch your son again, I promise.
Good. Now I'm putting it down for you, and just in case if there anything happens. Edward, I don't want to let you happen to my son like this, because you cannot do this at all. You can't threaten it like that. You can't punch him like that. It's pointless.
Edward nods quickly, realizing he's in trouble. Edward, I get it. I won't bother your son again, I swear. Just don't tell my parents about this, please.
Thanks now, Alice. Alice said, "You're welcome."
Edward nods in begrudging gratitude. Edward, yeah, thanks. I get it, I messed up. It won't happen again.
Thank God. Edward is now finally to stop. Meanwhile, Zeb and Oliver and Miss Grace and Alice leaving already.
Edward watches as everyone leaves, feeling relieved that the commotion is over. He sighs and mutters to himself. Edward, finally they're gone. This day couldn't get any worse.
Hey Edward, you're such a loser. I'm running away.
Edward's eyes fly open as he hears you taunting him. Edward, oh no you don't, you little twerp. Get back here. Edward takes off after you, determined to catch you.
Meanwhile, Miss Zib and Oliver, Miss Grace and Alice hear coming right now, and from the Edwards, because
Edward continues chasing you, with Zip, Oliver, Miss Grace, and Alice watching from a distance. Miss Grace, oh, for the love of... He never learns, does he?
Meanwhile, when I was running away from Edwards, because he's trying to kill me before.
Edward is charging after you. Edward, get back here, you little pain in the butt. I'm gonna teach you a lesson you won't forget. Zip, Oliver, Miss Grace, and Alice watch from afar, exasperated with Edward's behavior.
Ah, I just slipped and I fell again.
Edward grins as he sees you stumble and fall. Edward, aha! Got you now. Edward approaches, gloating over your misfortune.
Ah, what the hell, Edward? What are you gonna do about me? You want to teach me a lesson again?
Edward smirks, standing tall over you. Edward, you bet I do. You just can't get it through your head, can you? You need to learn your place, you little punk.
Edward, don't do it. Don't do it, Edward. Don't do it. Edward, don't do it.
Edward scoffs, his patience wearing thin. Edward, enough with the pleading, kid. You're just making me want to do it even more. Time to teach you a lesson, like I said.
What, like a punch me? Or trying to hurt me right now?
Edward grins, cracking his knuckles. Edward, yeah, you could say that. You just keep acting like a smart ass, and I'm gonna shut you up real quick. He balls his hands into fists.
No, 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 Edward, ouch! Ouch, Edward! It hurt!
Edward scoffs as he continues hitting you, Edward. That's the point, dummy. I'm teaching you a lesson, and lessons aren't supposed to feel good.
Meanwhile, Zip and Oliver and Alice and Miss Grace trying to stop Edward right now. And he say, "Stop, Edward! You can't hurt him like that. That's a serious crime. You shouldn't have done that."
Edward ignores the protest from Zip, Oliver, Alice, and Miss Grace. He's too focused on teaching you a lesson, Edward. Oh, shut up! I don't care if it's a crime, this kid's gotta learn some respect. He keeps mouthing off, and he needs to learn who's in charge.
Meanwhile, Miss Circle and Miss Bloomy and Miss Fable appear out of nowhere right next to Edward.
Edward is caught off guard as Miss Circle, Miss Bloomy, and Miss Fable appear suddenly. Edward, what the? Where did you three come from?
Miss Circle and Miss Bloomy and Miss Fable said, "I found you on the call on the 4K because I recording on you, because saw you recording on it."
Edward's eyes widen in surprise. Edward, what? You were recording me? You can't do that? Delete it right now.
Miss Circle and Miss Bloomy and Miss Fable said, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna show Miss Grace right now." Hey, Miss Grace, do you see the recording on it?
Miss Grace is standing nearby, her expression stern. Miss Grace, you have a recording of Edward? Let me see it immediately.
Meanwhile, Edward's getting in trouble right now.
Edward stands there feeling more and more anxious as Miss Grace reviews the recording.
Miss Grace, he know that was Edward's punching for him right now.
Miss Grace nods, a stern expression on her face. Miss Grace, yes, I can clearly see that it was Edward who was punching him. This is unacceptable behavior.
Meanwhile, Edward's really getting in trouble right now, and he got really get trouble right now from this what happened when he punched him.
Miss Grace crosses her arms, her voice sharp. Miss Grace, Edward, your behavior is unacceptable. I've seen what you did in the recording, and it's clear that you were the aggressor here. There will be serious consequences for this.
Haha, Edward, looks like you get caught right now because you didn't see it.
Edward scowls, realizing he's been caught. Edward, ugh, fine, you've got me, okay? Can we just get this over with already?
Meanwhile, Alice said, "No, Edward, that's what happened when you tried to do this happened."
Edward rolls his eyes, feeling annoyed. Edward, oh, don't give me that. This kid needed a good beating anyway. He was asking for it.
Meanwhile, Alice was turning to demon right now, and he was choking at Edward. Meanwhile, Alice has a tangle right there behind her back.
Edward's eyes widen, realizing he's in trouble now. Edward, whoa, hey, calm down, will ya? Let's talk about this calmly.
Alice said, "No, that's what happened when you beat my son. How about I'll give you beat up for you now, Edward."
Edward raises his hands, trying to appear defensive. Edward, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no need for violence, alright? We can talk this out like adults.
It's not worth. Meanwhile, Alice put them down on Edward.
Edward hits the ground hard, wincing in pain. Edward, ow. Okay, I get the point. No more beating up your kid, I promise. Just let me go.
Meanwhile, Alice said, "Okay, good. Don't do that again. Otherwise, you're gonna do something bad happens." Hold on a second. Oh, the error call.
Edward nods shakily, clearly still intimidated by Alice. Edward. Yeah, I get it. I won't touch your kid again, I swear. Just spare me the demon eyes, alright?
Yeah, sure. It's working. Alice said, okay, I'll let you go right now. But please, don't do that again.
Edward nods again, still feeling anxious. Edward. Yeah, I won't. I learned my lesson, I swear. I don't want to get on your bad side again.
Meanwhile, Alice and Miss Grace and Sib and Oliver and Miss Circle, Miss Bloomy and Miss Fable decided to leave.
The group of teachers and Miss Grace leave the scene, leaving Edward alone to reflect on his actions.
Haha, Edward, Edward, you always did that. You're such a loser, idiot. You're never gonna catch me.
Edward glares at you, still feeling frustrated. Edward. Oh, you little brat. I'll get you eventually, just you wait. And when I do, you're gonna regret it.
Huh, you're never going to get it now, you're such an idiot.
Edward's expression darkens with anger. Edward. Oh, you think so? Well, you better watch your back, 'cause I'm coming for you. You won't be laughing for long, you little pipsqueak.
Well, I'm walking away right now. And guess what?
Edward sneers. Edward. Oh, do tell. What are you doing now, smart guy?
I am become the leader right now, and now Zib and Oliver be with me right now, and you're not able to come with them.
Edward's eyes widen in surprise and anger. Edward. What? You can't be serious. Zip and Oliver would never join you. They're my friends.
Well, they're not. Well, they're not anymore because you're trying to kill me before.
Edward scoffs, clearly in denial. Edward. No, it can't be. They wouldn't just ditch me like that. We're friends. We stick together.
Huh. Oliver, I bet your friends are gonna become loser. Stupid idiot. Oliver.
Edward glares at Oliver, his anger growing stronger. Edward. Oliver, you can't seriously be siding with this moron. We've been friends for years. You can't just leave me for him.
Oliver said, that's what happened because you're literally beating up the kids like that. He's really smart. You can't do anything about anything else right now. That's it. I'm not being friends with you. And Zip, and also especially Zip, he's not being friends with you. Come on, Zip, let's go.
Edward looks completely stunned and betrayed as Oliver and Zip side with you. He can barely find the words to speak. Edward. What? You're really leaving me for him? After everything we've been through together? You can't do this to me.
Edward. Seems like you don't have friends anymore. So have fun with that. You're such a loser, idiot.
Edward clenches his fists, his anger at a boiling point. Edward. Shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. My friends will never leave me. They'd never choose a pipsqueak like you over me.
Well, shut the hell up, Edward. Number one, you're such a loser. Two, you're built it like a stupid idiot. And three, I bet you don't have your head on it before. You're stupid.
Edward snaps, his patience completely gone. Edward. That's it. I've had enough of your stupid insults. You're going to regret messing with me, you little brat. I'll show you who's the loser around here.
Huh, I'm running away right now. Catch me you can. You're too slow.
Edward growls in frustration, his competitive spirit kicking into overdrive. Edward. Oh, you're running, huh? You think you can get away from me? Think again, smartass. I'm gonna catch you, and when I do, you're gonna wish you never crossed me.
Alright. Meanwhile, Edward's really running away so fast, and me when I was running super fast.
Edward takes off after you, his legs pumping as fast as they can go. Edward. Hey, wait up! You're not getting away from me that easily, pipsqueak.
Oliver, I bet. Hey, Edward, I bet you cannot get through right now. I bet you cannot. I bet you cannot.
Edward grinds his teeth in frustration as he runs after you, Edward. Oh, I'll get you, all right?
It's not working again. Edward, I bet you can. Oh my god, I slip again. I keep slipping on it too many times. I keep slipping it.
Edward lets out a laugh as you slip again, Edward. Another fall, huh? You really can't keep a hold of yourself, can you? You're making this too easy for me.
Edward, what are you gonna do about me, aren't you? You're trying to do. What are you trying to do right now? You're already done beat me too many times. That's enough.
Edward scoffs, his confidence growing. Edward. Oh, I'm not just gonna beat you up this time. I'm gonna make you pay for everything you've done to me. You took my friends, you made me look like a fool in front of everyone, and now you're taunting me like some annoying little brat. So no more Mr. Nice Guy, I'm doing things my way now.
Well, what do you ask me for it? What are you trying to do?
Edward's sinister smile widens. Edward. Oh, I have plenty of ideas on what to do to you, but I think I'll let it be a surprise for now. Besides, I'm having much too much fun watching you squirm. Let's see how long you can keep acting so cocky, Pipsqueak.
What are you trying to do? Trying to teach me a lesson?
Edward steps closer, towering over you, Edward. Oh, I'm gonna teach you a lesson, all right? A lesson you won't ever forget. You think you can just take everything from me without any consequences? Well, you're about to find out how wrong you are.
Okay, what are you gonna do? Alright, what's the next teaching a lesson to need?
Edward grabs your collar and yanks you closer, getting in your face, Edward. For starters, I think I'll teach you what happens when you mess with me. And trust me, there won't be a happy ending for you. You've really messed with the wrong guy, and now I'm gonna make sure you regret it for a very long time.
No, Edward. That's a seriously not good idea. Edward, stop it. Stop it, Edward. Let go. Oh, never mind.
Edward sneers, his grip on your collar tightening. Edward. Oh, you don't like my idea, huh? That's too bad. I don't care what you think. You're gonna pay for what you've done one way or another. And there's nothing you can do to stop me now, so you better just give up and accept your fate.
Well, Edward, guess what? Look behind you.
Edward hesitates for a moment, his expression growing slightly wary. Edward, what are you talking about? What's behind me?
Can you see the FB Auto Danger members on it? Can you see them?
Edward glances over his shoulder to see the FV Auto members approaching. Edward. FV Auto? What are they doing here?
They knows when you recording on it, and also Miss Sorgo has a recording on it, and Miss Grace has a recording too right now, cause they know what you're doing.
Edward's eyes widen in disbelief as the realization sets in. Edward. What? You mean to tell me they've been watching this whole time? Crap.
Yep, looks like you're getting caught right now. That's what happens. Meanwhile, Abby and Claire and Angles trying to see what happened, and they said about that. You need to stop doing that. Teach him a lesson. You can't do anything about it.
Edward scowls, his anger flaring up again. Edward. Damn it. How am I supposed to teach this punk a lesson if I'm being spied on by the teachers and the rest of FV Auto? This isn't fair.
Edward. Oh, there's the police right now. Looks like the police going to arrest you, Edward.
Edward's expression grows increasingly shocked and worried. Edward. What? The police? No, this can't be happening. I'm not getting arrested.
Well, that's what happened because you trying to beat me up and just trying to teach me a lesson. That's what happens right now. And now, Edward, you're going to the arrested right now. Meanwhile, officer, you're under the arrest, Edward and kids.
Edward starts to look panicked as the officer steps closer. Edward. No, wait. You can't do this. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just trying to teach this brat a lesson.
Officer said, well, teaching the brat a lesson is really, really harmful like that. So you're under the arrest now, Edward.
Edward's protests fall on deaf ears as the officer handcuffs him. Edward, this is bullshit. You don't understand, officer. I was just trying to put him in his place.
Officer said, well, you shouldn't done that, Edward. That's what happens when you didn't see it.
Edward continues to protest as the officer leads him away. Edward, this is ridiculous. You can't just lock me up like this. I'm not a criminal. I'm just a guy who got a little carried away.
Meanwhile, officer said, shut up. That's it, I'm going to tase you right now.
Edward reluctantly falls silent, his anger and frustration still evident on his face.
Meanwhile, Edward got tased, got shocked by those officer.
Edward yelps in pain as the taser hits him. Edward, ow, son of a bitch. That hurts like hell.
Meanwhile, officer put it inside a police car right now.
Edward is roughly shoved into the back of the police car, still seething in frustration. Edward, this is absolute bullshit. I can't believe this is happening.
Meanwhile, Clary, Abby, and Angel said, hey, are you okay, man? He said, yeah, I'm fine.
Clary, Abby, and Angle look relieved. Clary, we're glad you're alright. That was really dangerous, you know?
Yeah, that would have very hurt about those things, but looks like Edward's getting arrested because you know what happens, right?
Abby and Angel nod in agreement. Abby, yeah, he was being a real bully. He got what was coming to him.
Meanwhile, Zip and Oliver said, are you okay, man? You looks like you seem to be hurt. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. That's a bit bruised right now.
Oliver looks concerned as he takes in your bruised appearance. Oliver, oh man, you look kinda beat up. Are you sure you're okay? That Edward can be pretty rough, I should know.
Yeah. Zip and Oliver, I know you're being okay right now, but you're my friends right now because I don't like how Edward's just acting like this.
Zip and Oliver look at each other, then back to you, Oliver. Yeah, of course we're your friends. And don't worry about Edward. He's just a bully who gets off on picking on people weaker than him, that's all.
Yeah. Anyways, meanwhile, Miss Circle and he seem to be okay right now. He said, are you okay? Are you okay, my student? You seem to be having hurting.
Miss Circle looks concerned as she sees your injuries. Miss Circle, oh dear, that looks painful. Are you feeling okay, my student? I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, that's alright though. I guess Edward's going to arrest it because you know what happened when this happened.
Miss Circle nods in agreement. Miss Circle, yes, he was being extremely reckless and unacceptable. He needs to learn that his actions have consequences.
Meanwhile, Edward's felt left out. He had to say to that. There's another error again.
Edward, who had been listening in on the conversation, can't help but interject. Edward, you think I care about being left out? I don't need anyone's sympathy, especially not from you weaklings.
Meanwhile, Zip and Oliver say about Edward that, I cannot believe you now, Edward. You shouldn't done that for him. You shouldn't beat it up for this Mike. You shouldn't beat it up for the kids like that. You should have done that.
Edward rolls his eyes in annoyance. Edward, oh, spare me the lecture. I don't need you guys telling me what I should and shouldn't do. I do what I want, when I want. If you're too weak to take it, that's your problem, not mine.
Zip and Oliver said, has a grabbing the taser and shocked him, Edward.
Edward's demeanor changes quickly as Oliver threatens him. Edward, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not get hasty here. You wouldn't dare use that taser on me.
Zip and Oliver said, "Too bad. I'm gonna taste it to you." Meanwhile, the taser got shocked by Edward.
Edward yelps in pain as Oliver uses the taser on him. Edward, ow, 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 that hurts like hell. Stop, please, I give up. I'll leave the kid alone, I promise.
Zip and Oliver said, "Good. Now don't do that again."
Edward nods reluctantly. Edward, okay. I won't do it again, I promise. Just stop with the taser, alright? That thing hurts like hell.
Meanwhile, Angle and Abby and Claire look at Edwards to see what you've done. He said, "I cannot do this at all. Edwards, you shouldn't done with beating the kids like that. You should have done that."
Edward scowls, his temper flaring up again. Edward, you guys are such buzzkills. I was just teaching this kid a lesson, that's all. He deserved it, acting like a smart aleck all the time. Maybe you all should learn some respect instead of getting all mushy about it.
Abby said, "How about you? I will punch you in your face, Edwards."
Edward snorts in derision. Edward, oh yeah? You think you're tough enough to punch me? Go ahead and try, Pipsqueak. I dare you.
Not for us, but Claire and Angle going to punch you.
Edward snickers at your confident tone. Edward, good luck with that. Even if you landed a punch on me, you're nothing compared to me. I'll beat you senseless before you even know what hit you. Edward's cocky demeanor falters slightly as he takes in the sight of the two approaching girls. Edward, whoa. 2-on-1 isn't fair, you guys.
Abby and Angle and Claire said, "Too bad. I'm gonna punch you right now."
Edward backs up, his bravado fading fast. Edward, okay, wait. We can talk about this, right? I don't want to get beat up by 3 girls at once. This is ridiculous.
Abby and Angle and Claire said, "Good. Now don't do that again, alright? I'm done with this so many times."
Edward nods, looking thoroughly humiliated. Edward, yeah, I got the message. No more beating anyone up, okay? Can't we just forget this whole thing and move on?
Mean-
The 3 girls nod in agreement. Claire, yeah, let's just let bygones be bygones. Abby, we'll forgive you this time, but don't test us again, alright? Angel, just behave yourself from now on, okay?
Edward inside the police car and sent him into jail.
Edward is handcuffed and led away, grumbling to himself about being treated like a criminal.
Meanwhile, Edward's breaking out the police car in the door.
Edward struggles against the handcuffs and attempts to break free. Edward, ah, damn it! I can't believe I'm stuck in here. I need to get out now.
Meanwhile, Edward realized that the police car wasn't unlocked.
Edward's brow furrows in confusion as he notices the unlocked door. Edward, huh? The door's not locked? No way. I might actually have a chance here.
Meanwhile, Edwards opened the police car door right now, and he's going to free.
Edward grins in excitement as he opens the door and hops out. Edward, haha, freedom. I can't believe that actually worked.
Meanwhile, Edward's breaking the handcuffs on it.
Edward struggles to break the handcuffs open. Edward, come on, just break, damn it! With a final effort, the handcuffs snap apart, freeing Edward's hands.
Meanwhile, when I was chilling inside of the building.
Edward looks around, trying to get his bearings. Edward, alright, I'm out of there. Now to find somewhere to lay low until this whole thing blows over. He looks up at the building in front of him.
Edward, what are you doing?
Edward starts, surprised to hear a voice unexpectedly. Edward, what the hell? Who's there?
Meanwhile, when I was talking about anything happens right now, and meanwhile, when I was, hey Edward, I bet you were completely loser right now.
Edward whips around, trying to find the source of the voice. Edward, what the? Who are you? Show yourself, coward.
It's me. I am the one that last time here.
Edward's eyes widen as he recognizes the voice. Edward, you! I remember you. What do you want from me this time, huh?
Well, since you escaped from the police officer's car, you're going to catch me. You can. I bet you're running like a bit slower.
Edward bristles at the jab. Edward, oh yeah? You think you're so clever, huh? I can run just fine. I'll show you.
Catch me, you can. I bet you cannot. I bet you were really running over so fast because you're gonna get tired.
Edward scoffs in annoyance. Edward, you're just trying to psych me out. Well, it ain't working. I'll catch you in no time. You'll see.
Alright, let me just run. Oh, again! Oh, damn it. How did I keep slipping too many times. Damn it, I keep slipping.
Edward smirks, seeing you slip and fall. Edward, ha! You trip over your own 2 feet. What a klutz.
Edward, don't do it, Edward. You're trying to teach me again? Teach me a lesson again?
Edward grins sinisterly, seeing another opportunity to assert his power. Edward, oh, I'll teach you a lesson, all right. You're gonna regret ever trying to mess with me.
Edward, what are you gonna try to do? What's the teaching a lesson to me now, Edward?
Edward grins as he approaches. Edward, oh, you'll see soon enough. You'll regret ever challenging me. I'm going to make sure you never forget this little lesson.
Edward, don't do it. Edward, don't do it. Don't do it, Edward.
Edward laughs in amusement. Edward, are you scared? Good, you should be. I'm not going to go easy on you this time. Prepare for pain.
No, ow. Ow, Edward.
Edward continues advancing, his eyes filled with malice. Edward, run and hide all you want. It won't make a difference. I'm faster and stronger than you in every way. You're going to feel the weight of my wrath very soon.
Edward, please, don't. Edward, you're going to try to hurt me right now?
Edward laughs cruelly. Edward, you bet I am. You really think I'd let you off easy after all that trouble you caused me? No. I'm gonna teach you a lesson you'll never forget. And it's not going to be pleasant.
Edward, oh my god, Edward, you just hurt me right now. It's so painful. Ow.
Edward grins sadistically. Edward, that's right, feel the pain. Drink it in and know that it's all because of you. You brought this on yourself. This is what happens when you mess with me.
Well, guess what now, Edward? I have a gun to you pointed at you. Goodbye for now, Edward. Meanwhile, the gun triggered at Edward and she shot in the head.
Edward's eyes widen in shock as the gun goes off, hitting him in the head. Edward, no, this can't be happening.
Well, Edward, since you're dead.
Edward stumbles backward, clutching at his wounded head, his breathing ragged. Edward, you shot me. I can't believe it. I can't believe you actually shot me.
Yeah, that's what you get. Yeah, don't mess with me now, Edward. Don't mess with me.
Edward collapses to the ground, bleeding profusely. Edward, you'll pay for this. I'll get you, I swear.
Huh. I have FK-47. Let me just shoot. Meanwhile, FK-47 shoot at Edward and he shot every single body.
Edward's body is riddled with bullets, his limp form on the ground. I'm unable to generate a reply that meets our content guidelines.
Meanwhile, the bullets get through Edwards from his hand and from the legs.
I'm unable to generate a reply that meets our content guidelines.
Well, Edward, you got shot at because of this. Don't mess with me.
Edward can hardly stay conscious, blood spilling from his wounds.
Edward, you're don't mess with me now, Edward. Wait, what the hell? Edward, you have power healing? You got to be kidding me.
Edward coughs, struggling to speak. Edward, it's a rare power. I can heal from serious wounds.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Ah, not again. You tackle me again.
Edward chuckles weakly, even with bullets inside of him. Edward, looks like you couldn't get rid of me that easily.
Oh, Edward, what are you trying to do? Teach me a lesson again. Ow.
Edward forces himself to stand, wincing from the pain. Edward, you bet I am. I'm still standing, aren't I? You can't keep me down for long.
Wait, no, ow. Ow.
Edward laughs cruelly, advancing towards you. Edward, that's right, keep squealing. You'll be begging for mercy soon enough.
Meanwhile, Zim and Oliver have a taser and shock at Edward.
Edward's eyes widen as he sees the taser. Edward, what the? Stephen activates a taser, sending an electrical shock through Edward's body.
Meanwhile, the taser shock at Edward and it gets really painful.
Edward howls in pain as the electricity courses through his body. Edward, damn it, that hurts. Stop that.
Meanwhile, Zim and Oliver said, well, I finally know where you are. Because you were escaping from the police car and it sent that thing. Guess what? The reinforcement officer and the SWAT and militaries arrive.
Edward looks around, noticing the reinforcements that arrived. Edward, what the? No. I can't be caught now, not like this.
Zim and Oliver said, well, you shouldn't done that. You shouldn't done them for beating people like that. And also the kids, especially the kids, you shouldn't done that.
Edward looks defiant despite his current predicament. Edward, oh come on, they deserved it. They were annoying and weak. They needed to be taught a lesson.
Meanwhile, Miss Circle has a flamethrower and burn at Edward's hair.
Edward's eyes widen in panic as he sees Miss Circle ignite the flamethrower. Edward, no, wait, don't do it. I don't want my hair burned off. That's not fair.
Miss Circle said, too bad. This is what happens when you're doing this right now. The flamethrower is starting at the burning at Edward's hair.
Edward screams in pain as the flames burn his hair. Edward, damn it. That hurts. Stop it.
Miss Circle decided to stop the flamethrower at it.
Edward sighs in relief as the flames are extinguished. Edward, thanks. That hurt like hell.
Meanwhile, Miss Bloomy has a gun on it right next to his arm right now and shoot at Edward.
Edward grunts in pain as the bullet strikes his arm. Edward, damn it! Stop shooting me already.